This week on Hermitcraft.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna tear it down and rebuild it. Right? Pearl? Right?
Welcome to the Hermitcraft RECAP. My name is Pixel Riffs, our writer is LoyXP, and this is the recap of the first week on Hermitcraft Season 8. This is, however, not the first recap of Season 8. For that, look into our Day 1 recap video. So we've covered most people's first steps on the server, but a few more episodes of 1 came through this week, so we're picking up where we left off, and much as it sounds silly, be warned, there are spoilers ahead. And if you're wondering how there can be spoilers for a Let's Play, buckle up and let me tell you what Docm and Rendog are up to. The weird science of Doc and Ren's episodes have apparently launched a meta-universe alternate reality game, hereafter referred to as the Hermitcraft, in which clues seeded through Docm's videos will lead the community to external websites, encoded messages, and mysterious signals from outer space. It is a wild goat's chase of epic proportions, and we hope you're along for the ride. In more real-life news, Zombie Cleo announced this week that despite a turbulent couple of years, the support of the YouTube, Twitch, and Hermitcraft communities has allowed her to quit her day job and move into making online content full-time. Naturally, we at the Hermitcraft RECAP are heavily in favour of this move, and we wish Cleo a smooth and relaxing transition to a more digital life. Maybe that's just the Hermitcraft talking again. And so, with the aerials on our tinfoil hats firmly tuned to the radio static, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Tinfoil Chef, who spawns a little after the rest of the group, having had some technical issues during the Day 1 hangout. But he still has some plans for the series, and with the coordinates in mind, he sets off to a secluded island. Arriving on the shore of a mountain biome, longtime TFC viewers might assume he plans to make a cave in a cliff, but after discovering his first copper and wading in the water, he announces his intentions to pick up where he left off with Season 7. Having never had the chance to complete his tower build, he's laying the foundations in the ocean and giving it a second try. Once the footprint has been laid out, his next step is no doubt to establish a branch mine, and hopefully someone's told him branch mines are potentially more effective at levels 5 and 6 now. Although with that said,
I mined at level 5 for like an hour, found 1 diamond node.
Having got all his diamonds at regulation levels, XB sets up an enchanting station at his starter house, then leaps into action with an Axolotl Rescue service. The adorable 117 critters have been spawning in a nearby magma ravine, so XB saves them from a fiery fate and creates a sensory deprivation tank where they can farm all the glow squid they want. Once he's sorted out the kinks, he gets the inks, takes the shortest route to the Nether Fortress, and experiments with the mechanics of a dripstone-based lava farm.
Aha. Wait, did that fill already?
Meanwhile, Cubfan135 establishes a water-based dripstone farm, which works wonders if you have millennia to let the dripstone grow.
We're just gonna roll with it, so I just kept going and going and going.
To expand the automated part of it, Cub starts on a slime farm, which of course has him kill a wither and get a beacon so that digging is a little faster. It's only a little fancier than the copper, amethyst, and dripstone faux beacon he makes in the backyard to confuse any passers-by. The passers-by will be extra confused as Cub has acquired a brand new skin for his persona, 2 even, one more resembling his real-life self and one more resembling a giant mole. That can be explained with his Mole Man in the Morning initiative, where Cub roams around other people's bases, leaving molehills and pathways behind. Guess taking wrong turns at Albuquerque is all that's left to do after you've already got an Elytra, a beacon, and a mending villager. Wells Knight digs even deeper, and by episode 2 is sporting a full suit of netherite gear, with an Elytra Cub gifted to boot. His own wither fight goes off without a hitch, and in no time Wells is digging out a storage basement and an underground sheep pen.
I may be over-prepared, but, that's okay.
Having reached the part of the script where we have to explain Docm and Rendog's antics in more detail, everything starts out very chill, although that may just be the vibe of Rembob the Hippie's hyperspace campervan. It's also worth noting that Rendog is now half mechanical following his Season 7 finale, so between him and Doc they make one full human and one full robot. Parking the RV on the beach and digging out some extra storage nearby, they kick back and grill some food on the campfire, settling into a relaxing life on Season 8. Until Doc finds a mysterious book in their local shipwreck which contains some mysterious instructions.
Wait, is this a 117 glitch or something? I don't know.
This looks like Minecraft code.
17 that you can make weird rotating titles?
The two prepare the assigned area according to the book's cryptic specifications and dig a moat down to bedrock, taking a break only to heist some goats from the backside of Mount Botham and establish a goat sanctuary. But while Rendog builds a chicken farm and enjoys a bit of variety, Doc is single-minded in following the book to the letter, even if the letters are randomly scrolling. One mysterious server-crashing hopper and a server restart later, they return to find their chunk has regenerated with 8 dungeon mob spawners carved into it, and the legend of the cursed chunk begins. And while this is not Doc's first time messing with the laws of physics, fans may remember the shenanigans of Area 77's self-resetting chunk in Season 6, the octuple spawner is truly a sight to behold.
I created the octuple spawner out of thin air, man. This is the holy grail of technical Minecrafting.
Which is why Joe Hills has to stop by and behold it at least once, although it wasn't really fit for human consumption yet, and Joe has to get his string elsewhere. The string is all for some market stalls he sets up at the flower forest Cleo is begrudgingly sharing with him after he moves all his stuff next to her stuff but not touching it.
What I should do is just put my chest as close to your chest as possible here and just dump all my things in it so then it's not in the way.
Just making it awkward, Joe.
It's not in the way.
The stall pulls in some customers after Joe spreads the word on the Hermits Helping Hermits live stream, although it may have been helped by Cleo's aggressive sales tactics.
Well, you know what? The best place to put your diamonds is in our shop, apparently. So you don't have to worry about getting robbed.
It's okay. It's just
You
a
also
token
got
robbing.
robbed.
While we don't cover live streams on this show, it's worth noting that this is where the server's temporary nether hub was established. So if you're wondering who's responsible for the Basalt Delta tunnel network, the answer is all of them. The string claims another victim this week when Tango Tech lures BOO down his spider farm just in time for the full damage to kick in. Mr. Tech's reasoning on the matter amounts to "the voices made me do it." A mysterious book appears on a lectern in his string farm and demands that he gets B-dubs to die, and then places a pickle at the spawn egg. As of yet, we don't know who the mysterious taskmaster is, except maybe this one Marvel character. As for why Tango even needs a string farm, it turns out it's for his candles and copper shop, located within his very starter home. Though out of the metal for the time being, it's set on providing new materials for the masses, were they to make their way to the Forest Bandit's neck of the woods.
Yeah, don't mind me either. I am not here, alright?
Of course not. Bye! Hey!
Keralis, by contrast, happens to not yet have a starter home beyond the cobble of shame from last week. To rectify that, he raises a modern-style home with high-contrast materials and a nice deep slate frame. Just be careful placing a jack-o'-lantern in there because most of the walls are actually made of snow.
Yeah. Don't you worry about a thing. We've got it.
It's easy to forget since the blue tint is masterfully masked with white variant blocks interspersed along the structure. And if he decides to swap those for bone blocks, Hypnotized is available with his day one skeleton grinder. A tunnel to which doubled as a strip mine before he got a fortune pickaxe and pocked out all the precious jewels.
And with these here, we are up to 38. Wow, that's not bad. So I can make myself a full set of armor.
Other than that, Hypno's first episode seems to have some extra day one shenanigans, so if you're into the behind the scenes chaos, check it out for a fresh perspective and a game of spot the difference. But as far as skeleton spawner decoration goes, you can't beat a Zoomovoid, whose tunnel wall ornament is villagers. Having set up a villager breeder and a crop farm to feed into it, X gets on redecorating in his starter home and all around it. Even finding a mysterious helper who leaves molehills and pathways all over his place.
And I was thinking, this is kind of a good fit for the environment. The dripstone, it's dangerous, it's kind of rocky, it probably suits this place pretty well.
Any future Enigma co-conspirators can arrive to his island through the Mage Tower nether portal or by boat with the guiding radiance of a lighthouse. A much nicer treatment awaits the testificates, or rather test subjects, at ZDAF's science lab. The villagers will be given a whole tower where each level will be dedicated to a stage in their development. And yes, that includes extortion, followed up by confinement. Though killing a guy a few times over then sending him to a glass prison is the least Zed would do to get that sweet emerald.
Or as I like to call it, beryllium aluminum silicate, of course. We can duplicate these things as much as we like and create an entire industry out of them.
While some prize villagers for their usefulness, others are more interested in aesthetics. Take Stress Monster, who returns to the spawn village to steal 2 plains villagers and bring them back to the swamp by her ravine base, where she promptly sets them on fire as soon as their offspring emerges with a leaf on its head.
I'm sorry! should have killed the baby. The baby made more sense. All right, I'll kill the baby. No!
Before long, she has an army of swamp boys, and yes, plans to zombify them for their trades, but at least they'll be super fashionable when she does. Until then, one of them decides to hide in her ceiling, and she teams up with False Symmetry and Gemini Tay to visit the Nether and the End, mostly for the advancements.
I'm happy that we went to the Nether together.
Me too.
Iskall is Shiny Boy.
I am Shiny Boy.
And Shiny Boy also steals villagers, although he might have a little further to travel, vertically. At least he sets up a breeder, so he shouldn't have to do it again, as long as they don't decide to get down from the mountainside in the same way he does.
Nailed it.
Naturally, his goal is to get hold of mending books so he can share one with Etho, then bribe Mumbo into helping him hunt for the drowned so they can get hold of tridents. Unfortunately for him, Mumbo has pledged not to harm anything this season and is also currently a potato.
Oh yeah, you're missing.
Having heard the name Mr. Potato Head recently became available, Mumbo's villager-powered potato farm gives him both a new identity and an early business venture. Setting up Potato Boy brand vending machines at Botum Town and a few other hermits' bases, Mumbo starts selling freshly smoked potatoes at a reasonable price. All that's left is to get Grian's approval.
I think you started a business venture where not a single person wants to buy any.
Mate,
it's oh dear all over again.
Yeah, I was going to say that is totally my vibe.
It's a good thing the two of them are already at war with one another, and it's a war of attrition. Sorry, I read that wrong. Attrition. It's a tree war. Knowing that Mumbo strives to replant every oak he slays, Grian surrounds his van with an impenetrable orchard. The hodgepodge of a hedge maze fortunately took exactly as much time to solve as Grian's starter home front side, and come revenge time, the roof of the building proved very fertile. Having found his house in a Chia Pet state, Grian redoes the exterior and strikes back, planting only one, but one as big. A build limit tall oak consisting of oaks stacked on top of each other, which is the only form of bigger tree will allow here.
What? I mean, there's only one... Oh my goodness.
In a more civil project, Grian starts on his own shop for the season. For now, a storage minecart running in a small circle, but one day, a cargo train full of precious goods. Whether the actual thing will move or not, only time will tell. Good Times with Scar, for example, already provides a service on the run, mostly from other server mates yelling at him that they wanted that part teal, actually. With his Waxing Hermits initiative, Scar offers to clean up the oxidation from everyone's copper builds, having gotten plenty of practice cleaning his own roof. Though currently out of actual wax, he's still enthusiastic about just cleaning the mildew off with an axe. The problem is that the first visit is free, spontaneous, and completely involuntary.
Roofline. Your roofline was very, very dirty and corroded, and I spruced it up.
And you know what? That actually looks pretty good.
With minor upgrades made to the skeleton farm, Impulse SV redstones up a bee farm that can swap between honey bottles and honeycomb, the better to stop his copper from oxidizing. But Scar's drive-by waxing service got there first, which gives Impulse enough time to prototype a tourist trap minecart track that can propel people around town on the back of a saddled pig and help Pearlescent Moon rotate her entire house by 90 degrees. It's a good thing he's in the mood to relocate stuff because the community gets together and decides that the boat Jenga set needs to be moved to a more central location.
I'm pretty sure there was a house right there, like an hour
I don't know what you're
ago.
talking about.
I didn't burn it down, I promise you.
I don't know.
It's always been open.
Why is there no house? Where's your house gone, Pearl?
I don't know. Someone stole it.
Along with it comes the idea for the Botum Hole, a pit dug all the way to and eventually through the bedrock, into which the community will sacrifice their junk items, bad ideas, and eventually each other. Actually, more or less immediately each other.
I knew it. I knew it. That was going to happen.
Not scar-proof.
It's still a work in progress, but at least now there are two ways you can make a snappy exit.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. In this week's end-screen theatre, watch in awe as our writer builds a massive gothic castle for his survival starter house, because moderation is for people who don't watch 20 Hermitcraft videos in a single sitting. Don't forget to leave a like while you're here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.